Tom. Tom, you realize whenever you put it in the big group, we're all in the big group and the little group, right?
Yeah. I know what you do. I know what I'm doing here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning show, number 67. Joining me as always is the super sidekick Todd, the silver hair stacker, and the ever slimming bearded picker, Scott.
Skinny picker.
The skinny picker. That's what he's gonna have to change his name to.
Yeah, just think if I shave the beard and cut it short again, it'd really show.
Yeah. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Joanna. Good morning, Bumcrack. Good morning, Lag.
Yeah, I
Is
look
there?
at your old videos now. I've gotten used to your new face, Scott. I look at your old videos and go, God, that was a big beard he had back then.
Yeah, I think I decided. I decided a while ago not to cut it off than I did again, but I think I'm pretty mentally strong now to have a big beard.
What does uh what does the wife say about the beard?
When I cut it real short, I don't know, about 2 months ago, she didn't like it.
Or
I
she
mean,
didn't like it?
most time, I mean, she can care less. Though. Who are we kidding? After all these years, she don't care. But
Yeah.
she
I
was
mean,
shocked and just
once you get above like 42 years old, nobody cares what you look like anymore.
How's There's about 400,000 people without power in the southeast because
so.
those thunderstorms. Did y'all get any of that?
We got it not yesterday, but Sunday afternoon.
Uh huh.
Um, so Harlan's daughter got it terrible. So the tree next to her house fell over and took out part of her fence, and
What?
it ripped all the electrical off her house. And so this happened Sunday afternoon. Monday afternoon, uh, Alabama Power finally makes it up there and turns off the power. The lines were live in her front yard, laying in the front yard live for almost 24 hours.
Dang.
Um, so Harlan went over there and helped them, cut up the tree, the part of the tree that was on their side. And they have four dogs. That tree was full of mistletoe, which I didn't realize mistletoe was harmful to dogs. So they had to turn around and get all that up. And then they had to pay an electric because they didn't want to wait for insurance to come out and all that crazy. So she just paid out of pocket. It's like $4,500 worth of electrical to put everything back on the house. Um, and they, as of last night at 8 o'clock, when I talked to Harlan, they were waiting on the city had come in and inspected it and okayed it the work, so they were waiting on the power company just to come physically turn it back on because they did instead of doing it. If you don't pay your bill around here, they'll disconnect you from the office. But they had the ability to disconnect you from the street to just one house, and so that's what they did this time. Um,
We had
so
like 140,000 in North Carolina. Pennsylvania had like 103,000. I mean, this is not the right time of the year to have
at least it's cooled off here a little bit. The high today is only 87. We've only got a couple of 90s in the next 10 days.
Yeah, that's the way it's going to be here too.
You got a rainstorm headed your way, Scott. It's over Arkansas right now.
Yeah, I think we're like 60% chance of rain today. So yeah, it's coming.
Dang. We need some. It
We
just
have
totally skipped us.
Felix, I guess you missed the point. You can get fined if you chop a tree down. This tree didn't get. Mother Nature, send her the bill. She chopped it down. We had it wasn't a huge storm, but it was almost like a microburst, or at just small areas. Because it was real windy out here, but it didn't do a ton. I mean, I noticed it when the front came in. I'm like, man, look at all the wind. This is crazy. But just farther south, I guess she lives about 11 miles south of here. A lot of the downtown is without power. There's a ton.
Tom, your microphone is too close to your nose. All we're getting is wind noise.
Oh, are you? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
He was trying to simulate what happened.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, he
right.
was.
Our power went out long enough just to reset the clocks on the microwave and the stove. That's as long as it went out.
Two hip chicks. Hi, girls.
They had there was a teenage boy in South Carolina that was killed because the storm knocked down a tree and
that stuff happens, man. I don't know. I think I've told this story before, but we had a 16-year. I had a 16-year-old niece that was walking out in a horse field with her sister and my uncle, and it I guess we'd be cousins, not niece, but anyway, first cousin. The tree was one of those trees like this, but it had a Y in it, and just as she walked under it, the bottom Y broke off
Oh,
and broke her neck and killed her right there in front of her dad. I mean,
oh God.
that's been some years ago because Jacob was 8 or 9 when that happened, so that's been a few years ago. But you still, I mean, a young girl that was never in trouble, had already mapped out what she wanted to do. She wanted to be a lawyer, and she got smart parents. Her dad's actually the one that's the CEO of ASE Motors, the auto mechanic certificate.
Yeah.
He lives in Washington D.C. He's retiring in December, but he's been with them for about 30 years, I think.
Yeah, Felix, we mow the lawn and you rake it. You rake the sand. That's terrible, though. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Joni let Jacob out the house after that.
Yeah, so something happened, and she couldn't go. So Jacob, he went with me to the funeral, and that was. If you've never been to the funeral of a 16-year-old like that, I still wanted to. That's a long ride back. Whenever you've watched a 16-year-old be buried, I'll just tell you that much. That was
Yeah.
6 hours in the car. That was pretty. Makes you think a lot about stuff you don't think about.
I was trying to get a grip on this conversation Felix and Joanna's having about sand. Uh, you know, it wasn't too long ago. Well, I say too long ago. I guess in the 50s, a lot of people are like around farming areas. They didn't have lawns on their around their house. It was just dirt. Because my dad said he remembered around the house that my grandmother lived in when they didn't have a lawn around it. I
Damn,
guess
I thought you were gonna tell us about the Great Depression.
no.
How hard it was on you.
Well, my grandmother lived through that, and I guess my dad was on the end of it. But they had a farm, so nobody went hungry.
Yeah, my grandparents and great grandparents, same thing. But my dad was born in '44, so he would have missed it. But I don't think it. I mean, it affected everywhere, but the food part, you couldn't grow food out west because of the. Turns out, that was a man-made episode. Man made that 10 times worse by our farming methods, and once we got better at that, imagine that it went away. But they were in Michigan, so I don't think it suffered nearly as bad.
They're talking about like things are starting to slow down in the grocery stores again, the availability of it because of the Ukraine thing, and India's cutting back on its supply of rice. Speaking of it, here's your helpful tip today.
Don't eat
Uh,
rice.
if you're if you are kind of putting food back, or you want to start putting some food back in case crap hits the fan, um, check out your local restaurant supply stores. Because Roberta and I walked around one on Saturday, and they had like 50-pound bags of rice and things like that. That was cheaper than Sam's.
Yeah, I got a feeling we're gonna figure out why Grandma used to wash aluminum foil.
Yeah, yeah. Because it sounds like because just think about it. Even if the war was over in Ukraine, they said it would take 2 or 3 years before they got back up into anywhere near close to you know
But
pre-war production.
their big thing is wheat exports, and we're a net export nation. So if we just don't export our own food, people, y'all realize that the America feeds a lot of the world, whether y'all want to believe it or not. That this great land of ours produces a lot of food. Just think about this. We are such a wealthy nation that our government pays farmers not to farm parts of their land.
Yeah, that shit needs to stop.
Just in an effort to control prices.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
they wouldn't want me to become an autocrat because we'd be going down through the budget and and nope, nope, nope. Um, honey, did you see any big bags of beans? We didn't really look, Joanna, because Roberta was getting all kind of giddy about it, seeing the 50-pound bags of rice. And then they have big bags of sugar too. So, like I said, that's another option if you're prepping or you just want to put some stuff back. I don't know what Gordon's is.
Gordon's is a restaurant supply store. They've got one here. It's the same thing you're talking about. It's open to the public. You can go in and buy anything they can buy for restaurants. You can buy there. Biggest thing is it's just industrial size stuff. You know, it's bigger cans of stuff. It's more stuff.
Yeah, but if you're putting it back, you know. Yeah, I know you can, Joanne. I've watched all the daggone prepping videos about dry canning rice and beans and everything else. We have a vacuum sealer too.
I keep selling all my vacuum sealers. They're good money.
Yeah, well, this one was inherited from my dad. My dad. It was my dad's. My mom gave it to us.
You act like that makes a difference. I'll sell anything. I don't care.
Yeah. I was watching a news thing last night about Costco. Their prices are like doubling. Yeah, Carol, you better go get you some cases of Pepsi. So anyway, I be serious about it if you're concerned about it, and I think you should be to a point. To start putting back some cans of Diddy Moore and some beans and some rice.
Mike said a 12 pack of Pepsi cans, $8.99. Their Pepsi here is cheaper than Coke, so I drink the 6 packs of these. They're up to $4.88, where you can buy the Pepsis for I think $3.59. Pepsi here is cheaper than Coke for some reason.
I can drink Pepsi. I can't drink any of their diet products. That makes me want to puke.
I can't drink Pepsi.
Pepsi is not my favorite. A lot of people say they like Pepsi better, and I'm like, really? Why?
Roberta likes Pepsi better.
It's just because you don't have your taste buds.
I like RCs.
Yeah, RCs are good. RC is way better than Pepsi. But Pepsi is the choice of a new generation. That was their ads in 1980 or something.
They don't have any taste buds either. Have you seen the shit they drink?
Who's that?
Matchas and all that crap. And all this ginger beer and all the craziness that these young people drink. Ugh.
Well, see, that was nothing they were saying. The production of hops and whatnot was slowing down. So, because of droughts and whatnot.
I don't drink beer, so I drink beer every now and then, but not much.
I remember at the skating rink, everybody would dare you to get a suicide, which they had the drink fountain, and you get a little Coke, a little Sprite, a little orange, a little Dr. Pepper, and pour in some cherry syrup and drink it, and that was called a suicide.
the skating rink. Down where I grew up, there's still a skating rink, and it seems to still do a lot of business. And I'm just surprised in this day and time that there's still kids are doing something like going to a skating rink and getting exercise.
Yeah, the skating rink was pretty neat.
Which the rule used to be, once you went in, you couldn't go out unless you were leaving because you weren't allowed back in.
Yeah.
So they would stop all the hooking up out in the parking lot behind the building. You know what I mean?
I remember when I was little, smoking was allowed in the skating rink, but they didn't allow it in the restrooms. But the younger boys would take their pack of smokes into the boys' room and smoke them up. Sometimes it looked like a cloud in that boys' room.
I must have missed that part.
I grew up with smokers. My mom and dad both smoked. Roberta's parents smoked, so we kind of have the same stories, about riding in cars and they'd crack the windows. And I probably smoked 12 packs before I even turned 10 years old, just breathing it. Something else that was in the news. Oh, LA's on strike, believe it or not.
Has anybody missed the movies and all those TV shows that everybody been on strike? I don't watch any of it, so.
I either watch old stuff on Netflix or Hulu, or I watch YouTube. 90% of the time, I'm watching stuff off of YouTube. I mean,
I thought they were gonna find Bigfoot yesterday, but it turned out it wasn't him. But they didn't fuck around with Jaws because Jaws killed some folks.
Yeah. So it's when I said they were on strike in LA, I meant the city workers, not the union, and not the actors or writers guilds. Let's see.
How's everybody's sales? Carol wants to know. I had a big week last week, but the last three, Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday weren't. They were just kind of low average.
Yeah, that's it.
I've been listening a lot more, because my focus is on eBay right now, so I've been doing better. I've had some good sales. So weird that I bought where's it at? I bought this. It's over there somewhere. It's a steam mop that I bought. That I bought because they had the cleaner with it, and the cleaner is listed on. I paid $10 for it. It had a box of cleaner with it. The cleaner is not listed for like $80 or $90. And I'm like, you know what? I'll probably end up donating the mop. When I looked it up, stupid thing's worth $130, and it sold before the cleaners. So I've got to ship that out today. So don't if you'll ship bigger stuff, don't ignore that kind of stuff. I'll grab it.
I agree with you, Mike.
I try to avoid big stuff, but I just can't sometimes because the money's too good.
See, here it is. I paid $10 for it. It sold for $130 plus shipping. If you put the dimensions in, they paid. The bottle has to go with it. Yeah, this is one. It's steam. That's a steam mop, so the thing's Velcro to it.
Right.
I might as well stick it over here.
Well, why don't you set up your camera on a tripod when you start packaging that thing to ship? I'd like to see how you ship that thing.
You act like I don't have boxes from Thingamajig to ship it with.
Dang.
You really want to see me put a box together and just drop it in there?
Okay. I didn't know whether you was going to have to create a box, Frankenbox it.
No.
You know, Tara and Jim used to do. I mean, they used to do a lot of videos, and Jim packed a um, a mounted deer head with antlers, and I was just amazed at how he packed that thing. Good morning,
Yeah, he
Craig.
basically had to build a crate.
Yeah.
But Crazy Picker Life used to do that for big signs and stuff. They had a video showing they had out their air nailer and just built a crate around this sign and shipped it out.
Well, if you got the stuff, you can slap together. You can make all kinds of stuff. You got the little air nailer, and now everything's battery powered. Um,
You can still use nailers with a battery.
yeah, yeah, I know. The guy that put some doors in for us, he pulled out. He had about 6 battery packs, and his miter saw was battery powered. His nailers were battery powered. His
So, do y'all know how to? You can Google this, and it comes up on YouTube pretty easy. But it actually does work. I have a hedge trimmer that I needed to get working, and the battery, evidently I killed it. And when I put it on the charger, it wouldn't recognize it. Do you know how to revive those things? It's man, it is so easy. So I just put the 2 batteries side by side and got 2 pieces of speaker wire, some thin wire, and you connect the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative for about 20 to 25 seconds, and then unconnect it. It'll give enough voltage in that battery where it'll recognize it. Mine went from not charging to running the hedge trimmers yesterday. It is so easy. You just need to get, because the worst thing you can do to a lithium battery is to kill it. That's why they tell you they don't recommend you run your phone all the way down, because you can't get to it. So they recommend you never run your phone to zero for the reason that your battery might not take the next charge. So if you're down in the 3 or 4%, you really need to take that serious, because you could lose your phone. But don't throw out batteries just because they won't charge or the battery charger won't recognize them. If you've got another lithium battery, or really any of the batteries, positive, negative, negative, for about 30 seconds, it'll revive these batteries, man. And these weren't the same brand. One was the Black and Decker, and one was what's that brand over there? Whatever the green ones are at Lowe's. I forget what they are. But Carol, shut the hell up. I had to be able to. Man, I'm like, man, that's the only last yard work I do. I do the flower beds, and they do look like hell still, but at least they don't look like Don King anymore. all the shrubs look like Don King. It's like I need some of them little googly eyes to put on them.
yeah, it's too hot to worry about that right now.
That guy had some wild hair.
Yeah. Craig, did y'all have any issues with the power? Did it go down that far to y'all? That storm yesterday?
Carol, wait, you did yard work?
Lord have mercy.
Man, we get these volunteered trees along my back fence and around the property. God, they're a pain to keep under control.
So I want you to know, Carol, I actually ran that lawnmower I got for free around the building here before I rinsed it off and put it in the truck and took it to sell it.
Before the yard guy got there?
Yeah, he didn't go back there behind this building or the very corner. He can't get a lawnmower back there. I probably should have kept that lawnmower, but I'm trying to figure out. I could have named it the Sling Blade Lawnmower.
It's been so dry here. In the spring, I mowed every week, and now it's like once a month is enough.
You fire up that smoker, they might send the fire department over there. I think you even called the house on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's you'll never be able to forget that.
Yep. I look like one of those smokers in Waterworld.
Yeah. At your funeral, if there's any resellers that shows up or the neighbors, they'll be laughing, talk about. Remember that time Todd smoked the whole neighborhood with his lawnmower?
Yep. We all have our equipment, don't we? Tom's got a piano, and I've got a mower, and
That's right.
Scott's got big girl underpants.
When did that become equipment?
And don't forget the unicorns. Or what was that? Llamas.
Where'd he go?
It's around here somewhere.
He just chores the whole building. I don't know where he went this time.
Kind of like the elf on the shelf.
He doesn't want to come out and show his ass today.
The llama's on the lamb. Incognito llama.
I get bras too.
You didn't you ship out a bunch of your big girl panties last week? Did any of them come back yet?
I had 2 people buy 6 each.
Any of them come back yet?
Not yet.
Llama in the garage.
So this is weird. So Joni just sent me a text saying Chewy gave us a $15 refund and is sending a new bag of treats for free. So Joni opened up so she gets the dog's food from Chewy, so I don't have to go drag big bags of food, just from the front porch. And she always orders like some treats and stuff because these dogs are spoiled like you've never seen. And she opens up the box of treats to fill up the little container. And one of them looks different than the others, like a different looking bone, and it was broken. She picked it up. It was a bone that said, it was an Old Roy bone, the Walmart brand. And so she called them and asked them, and they said that that's not who makes their food. They don't have any idea how that got in that box. So that was strange.
Jacob probably thinks the dogs are taking care of better than he is.
I know, right? As long as he lists those fucking remotes today, he's all right.
So I got a new buyer from hell. I sent a stereo, and of course, the FedEx guys drop kicked it all over creation. So it got there broke. I said, buyer requested sent me messages. Can I get a full refund and just keep it? I said, no, I'll do a partial refund, or you can send it back for a full refund. Back and forth messages. Finally accepted a partial refund of $15. And then he starts messaging me again saying, did it work when you had it? I was like, block. So then he gives me a negative. So I got a request ending, remove negative. Said I didn't respond to messages. I bet we had 20 messages back and forth. So I'm like, ugh.
So I had a scammer try to get me, which I don't know whether he was a scammer or not. So I test these controllers right before I send them out because I sell quite a few of them. And he gets it and says it won't power on. He sends me a message saying, hey, I received this thing a few days ago and I finally got around to using it and it won't power on. I'm like, I'm sorry about that. It worked when I sent it.
What kind of controller is it?
It's an Xbox 360.
Okay.
One of the camouflage ones, so it's a little different. And so he sends me a message back saying he did this. I put new battery. I even put new batteries in it. Then the next message, and then I put newer batteries in. I'm like, all right, dumbass. What is new? If they're new, how are they newer than new? Okay, so that was my. I mean, that's the first. Then he says, I'm like, Okay, still I can't do anything. He sends me another. He says, I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm like, what's the good's a picture gonna do? He's like, you don't have to be a smartass. I'm like, really? I live states away from you. I can't diagnose something with a picture. You can return it for a refund. I have free returns. Sends me 2 more pictures, and I'm like, again, I still can't diagnose this. You can return it. And then he decided, again, you're being a smartass. You're being this. I wouldn't just order it, break it to have to order another one. I'm like, again, you send it back, and then he goes, I'm done with you. I'm not returning shit. And he immediately went and left the diatribe and negative feedback, which eBay took down in 30 minutes. What if you're so concerned about it and you think it's broken, why would you not return it? That's my whole thing.
Well, see, that's just it. If I order something, Roberta orders something, and whatever we get is broken, it doesn't work, or in the case of Amazon, is the wrong item.
Yeah, you just
You
send it
just
back.
send it back. You send it back if they've got another one, or if they want to send you a receipt. I mean, a shipping label so you can send it back, and they're going to send you another one. You know.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
Craig's 100% right. Amazon is conditioned these people to think that he was just going to get the controller and money. He thought that I was just going to tell him, "Oh, it doesn't work. Here's your refund." Yeah, that's.
Roberta's ordered $4 things, and we've gotten $50, $60 ladies' facial hair removal systems and stuff like that. That was $100, wasn't it? She called them and talked to them. They said, "Oh," she said, you wanted me to send it back?" And they said, "No, just keep it. We'll send you what you ordered."
Like it's sold for like $35, like 20 something and some 20 high 20s and some shipping. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Two hip chicks. I thought, you know what, they're looking for something. They're looking for me to tell them that they're gonna get a partial refund, and they didn't get partial nothing. See, and I don't give in to these folks, especially now that I'm pushing back into eBay much harder. Um, I have concierge service. I don't care what they do. I get so many free removals for feedback a year anyway. Man, the hell with these folks.
Free removals if it applies.
No. Concierge, you get 2 or 3 or 4 a year that they'll just take off, no questions asked.
Really?
Yes. So I had one last night. Y'all can ask, am I the asshole? I did a video, a TikTok on this. It's a $7 video game. I don't know why Jacob, or $8 video game. I don't know why Jacob be listed it, but he did because it was in the pile of stuff. I said, hey, list all this. He did. It's an old Atari game. So this one costs $4 a ship. No invoices. Make sure you clean it and everything before you send it, and get this huge thing. I'm like, dude, you don't know. I wipe my ass with it and throw it in an eBay bag. I don't care. Because it's normally I would put it in a bubble mailer and he'd have been fine. He wouldn't have got anything anyway. Right. But since I got the full diatribe, it's gonna be bubble wrapped and then put it in an eBay mailer because
I think a lot of people have been scammed by.
I'm gonna order some of them cards too, so I can start throwing them in there with them too.
What's it
because
say?
They always say no invoice, and package it good. They don't say anything about no personal information from the seller. So I think I'm gonna order some of them cards. I can thank you cards to throw in every one, just for those folks.
So are they? Do you think they're drop shipping?
It's a drop shipper. Absolutely, it's a drop shipper.
There are some people that ship stuff like when they get if depending on the time of day, they go ahead and ship stuff as soon as the sale goes through. And then these people come back with, like you were just saying, no personal ID or no um, packing list, none of that stuff. Well, it's too late after that.
I mean, I got Amazon return. Opened a mailbox yesterday. There's 3 Amazon returns. One of them don't like the fabric. You bought underwear, bitch. Don't like the. Who does that? I've had those underwear returned like 3 times because don't like the fabric. Who does that?
Well, maybe something back that pair. Throw them away and send them out a new pair.
No, they're 4 packs. I mean, they're just. I had one sent to me said it was the wrong color. They are multicolor packs. Wrong color.
Those panties are going to be the.
I made the YouTube short the other day. The person who sent the golf glove back. The reason for sending it back, website error. Wrong on the website because it said it's a right-handed glove to wear on the right hand in 3 different places, including your invoice. The reason return, I thought it would fit my left hand. You fucking dumbass. It's a right-handed glove everywhere. It's not going on your left hand.
There's people out there.
But I did get first time happened on eBay. So I took an offer on some big girl panties.
Good morning, Mr. Sadie.
And it says on the offer, if you accept the offer, we'll charge the I'd never seen that before. So actually somebody, I guess they had to put their credit card in like I do now. If I make an offer, you have to agree to. So I was paid immediately, which that's a nice feature. Why it's taken years and years and years to get there. This ain't difficult, eBay.
And I've had some people, I've sent out offers on stuff, and people have, when they accept the offer, they're being charged for it right then too.
Yeah, and how many times you got to see my kid order it, Greg? You're 100% right. Your kid ain't ordered squat.
Bridget said she got messages too that the buyer was charged at accepting the offer time.
Yeah, I mean that's really nice. That's the way it should be.
Why didn't they do that 3 years ago when they said they would?
Why would they even open their mouths if there was any doubt they couldn't do it? They weren't going to do it. So why would they even? They were trying to.
Well, what they'll do is they'll go ahead and tie down the item because they want the item, and then they have to wait for payday.
So what about auctions? If you auction something off, is that the same deal now? I haven't heard anything about auction wins.
It should be. You should have a credit card on file. If you win it, it should pay it.
I know it should, but I haven't heard anybody say that it has.
Joanna, I've had some people that had to wait 3 or 4 days before they paid. Or they have waited 3 or 4 days, let me say that.
That's right, 2 hip chicks. I get more ordered by mistake than kids making an order. I ordered this by mistake. I thought it was something else. I'm like, really? It's got the model number and the description and the measurements. My dog ate my order.
I've not watched any of the Whatnot auctions. I've not looked into Whatnot. So how does that work? Like if you sell something do you create like a listing on Whatnot for an item? And then you run your...
Yeah, you can have listed items and you can just run an auction. Or you can put pictures of your auction items and then run the auction. But
I mean,
they have like buy it now and auction stuff.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, two hip chicks. The kid order my mistake is so crazy. What's your kid doing surfing eBay? Not only does your kid not know what the hell eBay is to surf on it, these people, the generation behind us are so damn entitled. They can't even come up with a good excuse. At least be on because personal responsibility is that thing of the past. Saying, "Hey, I changed my mind. I'd have a lot more respect for you than you making up some bullshit." I'm tempted. If you said your kid did, I'm still tempted to send it out just to make you return it. If you say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I changed my mind or made a mistake," or personally own up to it, I'm canceling and move on. Like the guy who made an offer on a golf club, and then sends me said in one of the pictures it looks like the thing is coming off the hosel. I'm like, no, that's an old a picture. I had that repaired since I should not have put that picture on there. He bought it this is after he bought it. I had to cancel it yesterday because it'd been 5. He ghosted after 5 days. I'm like, really, you dumbass? That's the 3rd time I've sold that golf club, and it's not left here yet.
I just don't understand people. It's especially like I said, if you're a Johnny on the spot shipper, if you ship some, I mean, if you buy something and they turn around and the seller, gets it shipped, gets it ready, maybe not taking it to the daggum post office, but they've created a label, bought the postage, and it's in a pile over there ready to go to the post office or UPS or wherever. It's too late. If you're going to lose the shipping, if nothing else.
Yeah, I have another one coming back. Should be back today. I tested it and everything worked, but it's a digital thermostat, and of course he says when he hooked it up that the screen doesn't work. How do I know he didn't hook it up wrong? It was working when it left here. Because I put batteries in it and touch the screen around. He says the touch screen doesn't work. Who knows what these people do with stuff? Anything electric, just like anything, no undergarments should be returnable on Amazon, eBay, wherever. If you've tried on underwear, it's yours. If you've put your lower snail on it, it should be yours to keep.
When I sold a Billy Bass for parts, still got good money for it. And the guy got it, and then he wanted to return it. I didn't even have to respond to him. When he opened up a return, eBay interceded and said, "Sorry, that was for parts only," because he decided he just didn't want it, or he didn't need it. He found one locally, and I thought that was pretty good that they, immediately denied his return.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if my thermostat that comes back is mine or his, because I mark everything with one of the pins.
Has anybody ever that's mail fraud. I mean, if you send something through the postal service, like they send you the wrong one back, that's mail fraud. I wonder if anybody has ever just been a total asshole and is ready to, get out of the reselling industry and said, "I'm gonna make this bastard pay."
I mean, it's still 2 to 3% max on anything you sell anyway. So it's, and most of the stuff that comes back, you just resell it. You just, but it's made me change eBay. I've told you that. I'm going to go through now and check all my listings over the next week there's going to be no free shipping, none. And then if you return something, you're not getting your shipping. This guy made him a point to put he wanted a full refund. I'm like, full refund my ass. Uh, there's nothing out there that says you didn't tear up the damn thermostat, not me.
I think it's just people out there just. Well, Dusty used to talk about he got out of a lot of the specialty electronics because people are stupid and they don't know how to install anything.
Oh, 100% correct. I've got one coming back now because on a Blu-ray player coming back on Amazon because the guy said the remote didn't work. No message to me saying, "Hey, I just sent you. I just sent you another remote. If the remote didn't work, I just sent you another one." That reminds me, I need to order a couple more.
People have just gotten entitled. Felix wants to order some 4X panties. What, you got a girlfriend in dadgum London or something? Because I've never seen a woman in the Middle East that could wear a pair of 4X.
He's talking about for him.
For him.
There you go, John.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to look at. I got what? A negative feedback and one fixing to be removed. But you look at all the glowing feedback that I get from satisfied buyers on my feedback pages. And they'll be, I got what? Almost 6,000 feedback and they're all good except for 2. Yeah. They just stick out like a sore thumb, Buyer isn't happy because he's a crappy buyer, obviously. But I don't know.
And honestly, I do certain things. I think people, some things they don't realize what they're buying. That they think they're buying one thing and they're not buying another thing, and they made the mistake, so they need to just cowboy up and take care of it.
And so here's another one. I bought this item on August 2nd. What day was August 2nd? August 2nd was Wednesday. It said it would be here between Monday and Wednesday, between the 7th and the 9th. No problem. The new estimate is now between the 10th and the 16th. That's why on Amazon I have a hard time not buying FBA, and that's why so many people are like me that hardly won't buy anything but FBA, because now that item that was supposed to be here by Wednesday at the latest, Thursday is now the earliest, and it could be up to the following Wednesday before this stupid. And you click on the track thing, and it doesn't. Who knows who they shipped it with, but it doesn't. You can't Google it like you normally can. It doesn't show up as tracking.
Hell, you can order stuff from China and get it faster than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible.
Hey, Glenn.
Lag, I always leave Todd feedback. I didn't like that feedback. It was positive, but I didn't like that feedback where you said the jeans that I sent you make your ass look big.
What is it when
I
you
didn't think that feedback needed to be mentioned that made your ass look too big, but go ahead.
What's it called when you say something, but what you're saying sounds positive, but you're really being negative?
Yeah, there's a word for that.
You know what I'm talking about? Well, that's Lag's feedback.
Being an asshole?
Yeah. We give Lag such a hard time, and he's probably an 89-year-old grandmother of 12.
Every side chat that I go to, and he does it to Scott too. He always says, Look what I found at the garage sale this weekend. It's the item that I was talking about in my show."
Yeah, yesterday he was telling them he found a Polaroid camera. I'm like,
yeah, he found cameras and he found 2 ounces of silver and stuff like that. Now wait a minute, I thought I was the one that did that.
And then when you call him on it, he goes, "Oh, nice to meet you."
And it's like Josh Galt was saying, "Well, congratulations, that's a good find." I'm like, he's feeding you bullshit, Josh.
I've already sold that damn camera.
Lag is a pain in the leg.
Good morning, Bass. It's he hasn't seen daylight in 10
Josh
years.
don't know me yet. Yeah. Doesn't take too long to figure you out. Josh is serious. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
He never kids around on his show.
Is he the property manager guy, or is that a different one?
No. Josh is out of Niagara Falls. He used to be big into silver and gold and money management. He was
Is he Canadian? He's Canadian, right?
Yeah, but he does business out of Niagara Falls so that he can sell in America. I guess he just drives across the border every day to work. But he's trying to expand, and he talks about the things he sees. But he's never jokes around much about stuff like Lag does and I do and you do. And
I'm always serious on my show.
Yeah, he would never tease Thom about being a piano player. But we do.
We're supporting his endeavors, damn it.
Yeah, that's right. So last night was when the auction started, or was last night when the auction?
If your friends don't mess with you, do they even care?
Yeah, right. So yesterday was your dropping off day, wasn't it? Taking all the stuff to the auction.
It ends Thursday night.
How was has anything gone live yet, or is it?
Yes, I mean it ends Thursday. It started when they end and begin on every Thursday. So
Right.
I don't even know what my numbers are. I didn't even look this week. I mean, I know what the numbers are. I just haven't put them in yet. I took a picture of the first one and the last one so I'd remember.
So everything in between those two photos should be yours.
Yeah, number whatever to whatever. I have to look it up on my phone here. Anything from number. Hell, I have to recognize my own stuff. $16.54 to $7.19.
You know, I was looking at one website. They were way up in Indiana, someplace like that. They have auctions ending every day, but not on Saturdays and Sundays. And they're closed on Saturday and Sundays. But they have, like, every day they have an auction ending. And there would be hundreds of items in that auction. So they must have a big building to be able to have all that stuff spread out.
Holy crap. I didn't know if these things would sell or not. So that's going to be a great yard sale. So the yard sale I went to that had the sling blade lawnmower.
Uh-huh.
It also had a Han horizontal filing cabinet, 4-drawer horizontal.
Right.
It was in the trash. It's in the back of the truck now. The key should be here tomorrow, or the next day, and I'll take it up there next week. So that was 2 freebies. So I got a lawnmower that runs up there. I'm gonna have a filing cabinet up there. Well, when I went back to pick all that stuff up, the lady worked at Colonial Bank here. And they had all these bank bags laying up there in the free pile. So I grabbed every damn one of them. I'm like, worst comes to worst, I'll give them away to resellers because everybody wants to know, what do you do with the receipts when you're, I keep a bank bag in the car.
Right.
So I picked up 40 or 50 free bank bags from that lady. And I'm like, I'm going to run some of the auction, see what happens. So I got 21 of them up there right now, and they're up to $8.
Is it just the zipper ones, the regular?
Yeah, there's 3 sizes. There's a little. I put like 7 or 8 of the little ones. I put some of the big ones.
Right.
That's winning right there. Free.
Okay, test. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm testing out a different headset.
Testy.
What's the matter with that?
Slowly, lads.
Hot dog.
WCA. What does WCA stand for?
Western
Women,
Carolina
calm,
Academy.
Anxious? I don't know. Sounds okay.
Yeah, it sounds really good. Sounds like maybe turn it down just a fuzz if you can do that.
I'm fixing to switch back, but
oh, that sounds good. That makes you sound like a radio personality. This is a Silver Hair Stacker coming at you live from the hippin' town of Texas. Playing some tunes for you. All vinyl, all the time. Air traffic controllers. We were talking about watching nobody really watches broadcast TV or any of that kind of stuff anymore. I was through my playlist because I've listened to them before for good background noise. It's these guys that's playing the flight simulator where they fly from let's say from Charlotte to New York. I mean, Charlotte to Los Angeles. In real time, that's about 5 hours. They will sit there at their computer with that damn simulator, airplane simulator, and fly that plane all the way through. And there's people that are that do the air traffic controllers. And I guess the game that they're using, they can kind of see where everybody's at. And you would hear like an air traffic controller in Texas saying, okay, Aruba flight 614, you need to take a heading of, blah, 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 and then connect to Los Angeles. And I'm thinking, Lord have mercy.
Well, that was weird. Y'all went black for a little while.
Once you go black, you never go back.
Sup, man?
I mean, I couldn't hear you, and your screens just went black. I don't know what happened.
Sup, Todd?
Are y'all
my homeboy?
Are y'all messing with me?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Are we back?
Yeah, I think. Did you go offline for a minute?
No.
No.
How about in the audience? Did anybody see us go out? You might have jiggled your cords around, Todd.
I think I broke the internet with that new headset.
Well, it sounds good.
Well, there's.
You never know what happens when you jiggle your cord.
That's just not right there.
Hey, I ain't wrong.
Best, you flying from Houston
I'm gonna try it again.
to Charlotte, and you got to change planes? I thought American had nothing but direct flights from Houston to Charlotte. Like says that was him logging into your computer, Todd.
Was lag jacking with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. A lot of y'all are too old. I mean, too young to remember it. But if you wanted to fly from Charlotte, used to be you had to connect to Georgia, to Atlanta. If you were flying to New York City, you had to change. You had to fly to because Delta was the one that was the main carrier. You would fly to Atlanta and then fly to New York. Oh, we used to have the best airline that was Piedmont. They were the best. They were better than anybody, and they were acquired by U.S. Airways, and it went downhill from there.
My brother and I, when we were kids, flew on Eastern quite a few times, and Eastern never had any problems for us before they went under.
I was flying from Texas one time on American Airlines, and they brought this kid in, and he was being accompanied, and I was sitting up at the front, so they plopped him down in the seat beside me, and we were talking, and I said, because we were going through it was storming and it was kind of rough, so he acted like he was a little bit on the tense side. I said, so is your mom and dad picking you up at the airport? How long a ride do you have to get home? And he said, yeah. He said, and I don't remember the town, but it was like an hour south of Los Angeles by car. And I said, they're connecting you from Texas to Charlotte to Los Angeles? And he handed me his ticket. And I just reached up and pushed the button, and I told the flight attendant came over, and I just turned his ticket towards it, and I said, this is this young man's ticket. They had put that child on the wrong flight. He was supposed to be flying to LA, and he was on his way to Charlotte. Now, I don't know how his mother was, but my wife would have lost her shit. There would have been a daggum private jet waiting on him in Charlotte. What's happened the 13th through the 17th, Mr. Sadie? Sorry. Oh, you going to Vegas?
You're gonna have to shoot somebody for them to remember you.
Our wedding anniversary is in September. She has put up with me for way too long.
We can only stand you an hour a day.
Yeah, that's right.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. It's going to be 29 years this year. "29 years. But anyway, it's 10 o'clock. I got to get out of here. The boss is back in the house today, and so she's got her calls. I don't know how
Whatever
she gets.
Mama wants, Mama gets.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know how she gets anything done. Because she is on the phone to people all day long, and she's answering emails from questions from stupid people. And like I said, I just don't know how she gets anything done. I guess she multitasks better than I do, but she's a lot younger than me too. So
And she's probably not allowed to make fun of him either, is she?
is it against company policy to make fun of people that you? Scott wants to know. Yeah, it's probably not policy. But anyway, thanks for joining in today. Check out Scott's show tomorrow. You going to be there?
You damn right.
All right. Check out Scott's show tomorrow. He'll have some crazy crap going on because he'll have his gang in there. And any final words from you two learned individuals?
Go Cowboys.
All righty. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Later.
Over on Scott's channel. Bye.
Yeah, don't eat yellow snow. That's it. There you go.